Hey, you want it? I got it. Let's talk about it. All right, coming to you raw and uncut. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, leave a message, leave a comment, please. All right, and please subscribe. All right, tonight we have Monday Night Raw. All right, yeah, it was okay. Um, I think some of the segments were good. Couple of matches were good. There's some, watches in the matches and stuff. But you know, there's a lot of things I'm trying to figure out here. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out the Seth Rollins things with Paul Heyman and what that's all about because something that happened that just didn't make any sense and why he did not try to cash that Money in the Bank briefcase in. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. Okay, so we started out with John Cena coming out to the ring, and just saying that, you know, um, they called for R-Truth and stuff like that, and that R-Truth was, show comedian. He was a gimmick and stuff like that, and we're on to that, and just saying that he's competed against some of the best wrestlers, you know, that are around and stuff, and that he's beating a lot of people and stuff, and then he's calling the crowd, keyboard warriors, you know, and and oh man, an ignorant armchair activist. That I mean, that's just crazy. So with the John Cena thing. But you gotta love to hate him. I mean, John Cena is John Cena. I've always liked John Cena, and I'm going to continue to like John Cena, whether he's a heel or a face. He's one of my top five wrestlers and stuff. Then we have CM Punk that comes out, and he tells John Cena, um, some stuff and everything, talking about, that, he would settle or do beat John Cena or whatever, and that whatever he had to say, that John Cena was going to listen and stuff. And he practically, told John Cena that he was a flunky for the TKO and stuff, and his bosses and everything tell him what to do, and and he, flips on, he does whatever they say and stuff. But anyway, he said that that belt that he has, he knows what it made him feel like and stuff. So he said that he's going to have to become a monster to defeat a monster. So and everything like that. Then he brought up the fact, about R-Truth and Ron Killings, and then Seth Rollins comes out and he just stands there with the faction holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. So then we have Chad Gable and AJ Styles come out for a match. I'm gonna just say this: AJ Styles wins the match. Chad Gable, I don't understand. I mean, the Creed brothers came out to try to interfere in the match, and AJ still won the match. But what I can't understand is that Chad Gable has not won a match as Chad Gable. You know, El Grande Americano, has been winning all the matches, and Chad hasn't. And I don't understand any of that. I mean, we all know who's under the mask. We all know who El Grande Americano is and stuff. We know it's Chad Gable. Unless they have somebody that looks exactly like him to pull it off, as a stunt double, whatever the case may be, that's what's going to have to happen to prove anybody wrong and stuff. But, he does lose to AJ Styles. All right, then we have the women's fatal four way for Queen of the Ring and stuff with Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, and Kairi Sane. This match, there was a lot of blotches in this match. There were so many miscues and everything. I mean, the match itself was okay. There was a couple of good spots where went up under Roxanne and Liv, and but Kyrie saying let go, and they took the double backdrop and stuff. I mean, that was a good, spot in there. There was some off the ring stuff that happened and everything that, was okay and everything. But then ultimately, Roxanne Perez won the match. And I'm not mad at that, I mean, I see Roxanne, I see how they're pushing her, and I think she's going to probably be the queen of the ring. You know, it's going to be her or, I don't know. I hope it's not Charlotte Flair. I really don't want to see her Charlotte Flair do anything. But on the SmackDown side of it and everything, I see Stephanie Valkyrie might win it. You know, so we don't know. I mean, just as long as it's somebody that's fresh and new that actually wins that. You know, it's we'll see. Maybe Jay Cargill might win it and stuff. So I'm hoping that it would be perfect if Jade win it because then with Naomi being the winner of Money in the Bank, it could be set up as something kind of great here, you know. When they maybe get Bianca Belair involved, then it could be a triple threat for that. But we'll see anyway. But as we go, you know, as Becky Lynch is about to approach the ring, you see Austin Theory and Grayson Waller in the corner, arguing. Don't know what that's about. Looked like a pretty good heated discussion. I'm feeling pretty soon that they're going to end up going at each other anyway, somewhere down the road and stuff. But you know, and then Becky comes out and basically she calls our carrier out and everything. It was just nonsense talking and stuff. I mean, we've seen it all before. Becky saying that she's going to elevate the women's intercontinental title and everything. It's going to be a prestige title and stuff. And then she calls Becky, I mean, she calls Lara Valkyria to come out to re-raise her arm because she said she hurt her arm doing it at Money in the Bank and stuff. But and then Lara Valkyrie comes walking down the aisle and everything, and then all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, Bayley shows up, which was perfect and stuff. So we're gonna see that come down the road. Bayley will probably be, wrestling for that, or it could end up into a triple, threat match. I mean, we have the women's evolution coming up. Evolution 2 is coming up, so it could be a match set for that. So we'll see. And then the best part of the night is when our truth came out. And our truth, he says, you know, don't let no one tell you, you know, that you don't matter. Don't let no one tell you that you don't have a voice because your voice, the people's voice, is what brought him back. Triple H can say whatever he wanted to say, that it was a work or a gimmick or whatever the case may be. No, you fired the boy and everything, and then the people kind of got down on you because after they let Truth go, everywhere they went live, they were saying we want truth, and everything. So tonight, our truth came out, and he came out hot, and he came out heavy and hot and stuff, and he was, saying who he is, what he is, and everything. You know what I'm saying? That he's nobody to, play with and stuff. And then, he's telling them, the next time you hear my name, you better put some respect on it. And we're not talking about our truth. We're talking about Ron Killings. So put some respect on that. Okay? And I loved it. That was a great segment. Yeah, I mean it was great, and I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with our truth moving forward and stuff. I think he is gonna be the one that caused John Cena to probably end up losing that belt before or after or on SummerSlam. Somewhere around there is going to happen. Okay, then we have the men's fatal four way. We got Penta, Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn, and Dom Mysterio. That match was, it was okay. I mean, with the people that are in it, I mean, you would see that the matchup would be good. I mean, I can't understand how you're gonna take some of these hits though and then get right back up. There was nobody selling nothing. It was no selling. The match was kind of more meaningless or whatever the case may be. I'm not mad that Sami Zayn won and stuff, but I was kind of figuring that during the match, since Braun Breaker was in it, that Bronson Reed would be somewhere around, to interfere to help him win that match and stuff. And then how they got them on the same, program as how they have tonight. They have Braun Breaker, in the Fatal Four Way. I know he lost, but then next Monday you have Bronson Reed. Would have Braun Breaker would have won, and Bronson Reed would have won, and they're in two different brackets going against each other, and the winner of that, it just makes zero sense. It just makes zero sense, and it's just too funny. But we'll see what happens, and I don't think that even Bronson Reed is gonna win next week. And there's supposed to be somebody that they're gonna add to the match, so we'll see what happens. Um, that was crazy. So the match is okay, and then you have LA Knight that came out and interfered, and he just beat up Braun Breaker and stuff. So he kind of got some good revenge on Breaker, which was good. Liked it. Braun Breaker didn't win. Happy he didn't win and stuff because it would have never made any sense. I don't know what's going on with the writing, with the booking, whatever. We'll figure it out. I think we're gonna start doing some investigation and just letting you, the people, know. So please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. Let me know how you're feeling. All right, so we move on. The New Day had their little segment, which really wasn't nothing. The question was asked, Cat Keller asked, who the next opponents were, and we got no answer. So, and then Oscar will be back next week. It'll be great to see Oscar again. At least we have somebody there that can really, move, some stuff and get things going in the women's division. And then we have Nikki Bella who came out and stuff, giving a little promo on the women's evolution that's going to be coming out. Talking about the talent, how great the women's division is, and where it's at now from what it was, before. She named some names: Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and stuff. And then all of a sudden, you kind of hear Liv Morgan's music start up. And then she's coming out saying that, Nikki Bella disrespected her and everything, that, she accomplished a whole lot of things, and which is true. Liv Morgan has done a lot. She's a three-time tag team champion with Raquel Rodriguez and stuff, and she's been a champion on both sides. And yeah, that was one of the names that could have, Nikki Bella could have, said and everything. So I felt it was real disrespect, and Liv, you know, I'm glad Liv got her revenge on that one. So I'm sure that's going to probably be a match for Evolution with Liv and Nikki Bella. So we'll see. Hopefully soon they'll put that card out. Maybe in the next couple of weeks, and so. But anyway, then now we get down to the Gunther match versus Jey Uso. So Jey Uso's had this belt now for only 6 weeks. He just won it, in WrestleMania 41. And 6 weeks later, he's losing it back to the person who he may tap out. Now, I just want somebody out there to make this make sense to me. Why did they re-drop the belt back to Gunther? Why couldn't it have been that, since Seth Rollins won Money in the Bank, this is the best opportunity for him to come out, and either, beat Jay, because Jay was destroyed, for the last 40, few days. He's been through a lot, so he was beaten and everything. And that would have been a perfect, person to win. Let him win the belt again, and then Seth Rollins comes out and takes it on him. But even though the Gunther did win the belt and stuff back, Seth Rollins still could have cashed in. Gunther was still beaten. He has his henchmen with him, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, so they could have come out there, beat the living tar out of Gunther. Seth Rollins stomps him in the head and could have won, the title. There would have been the quick turn in. You took the belt off of Gunther because who wants to see Gunther as champion again? I don't, and I hope it happens soon, that Seth cashes in on him and stuff, so we'll see. Just gonna leave it with that. So I thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. Let me know how you're feeling and stuff. God bless you. Deuces, and we'll see you on the next video.